My organization, Upstart CoLab, works at this intersection of impact investing and the creative economy. Impact investing, as I described, it's investing. It's not philanthropy or gifts or grants or donations. It's proper investment, but it's investment that in addition to making profit is seeking to have a social and environmental impact. So why is this important for the creative economy? Why is this connection to impact investing important for the creative economy? There's $34 trillion US dollars across the globe that's currently impact investment capital. 34 trillion US dollars of impact investment capital globally. If the creative economy can tap into just a very small portion of this really large number, that is an extreme new source of financial resources for people's creative work. We are seeing increasingly that creative people are choosing to become entrepreneurs. And in addition to their more traditional creative practice, they're choosing to launch for-profit social purpose businesses in these creative industries. And so the type of capital that they need is not a gift or a grant, it is investment capital. And so that's what my organization is committed to. I talked earlier today about one example of one creative person and the company that she started and the ecosystem change that she's creating. We at my organization have qualified 200 examples like that of individuals who've started companies that are in the creative industries and that are delivering social and environmental impact. And so there is great demand for this type of resource. So now if we have the video, I'll just let it speak for itself and then I'll say a bit more. Upstart connects capital to creative people who make a profit and make a difference.
Many of the entrepreneurs in the creative economy are women and are people of color and are queer. If we're seeking equity, investing in the creative economy is the same as investing in underestimated communities and people.
We think of food, fashion, media, art, creative spaces. Those are all powerful vehicles for organizing communities and essentially empowering those communities for the change they want to see.
We need a fund. There are all these other areas of social good where funds exist. They don't exist in the inclusive creative economy space. And so for us, that was kind of a really important next step to have Upstart be able to work on creating that
new $100 million inclusive creative economy strategy, which is focused on BIPOC and women entrepreneurs, leading companies in food, fashion, film, and TV, the creative economy, and other creative industries.
With art, it was like nothing was good enough. Until a certain something came along called the Inclusive Creative Economy Strategy.
Not having creative economy exposure clearly meant we were missing something in our work.
I would argue that any foundation that's looking at impact investing in its corpus, in its endowment, needs to be looking at the creative economy as a slice of that, even if they're not doing arts grant making in their grant making program, because it is part of how we build a healthy, diverse, thriving community.
Art museums in particular, but endowments in general, also reflect historic inequity. Investing in a fund like this is also an act of restorative justice.
Laura is leading a reconciliation fund, essentially. It is the right time to invest.
Gotta put your analytical skills, your empathetic skills, head, heart, and hands all together and do it. Right? Because that's all we have. We have no other job.
So hopefully what you got there were two sets of voices. Foundations and folks who support the arts and are really committed to culture and creativity and understand the value that the creative sector can bring, but also other investors, other foundations that do not fund the arts, but recognize that the creative economy is able to generate deep social impact. And so this is one of the things that we've been trying to do, is bring the creative people to the impact investing conversation and the impact investors to recognize what everyone in this room knows so deeply, which is the power of an inclusive creative economy. So I'd like to just quickly share 3 things that we've learned over the last 10 years doing the work that we've done at Upstart CoLab. And I'm generally an optimistic person, so I'll start off with like the good news, and then I will tell you what's been a bit more challenging along the way. I get very excited when I have the privilege to come to a conversation like the one that we're all having today, because in the United States, the term creative economy is unfamiliar. The term creative industry is not used. When I talk about creative economy, people ask me if I myself have invented this term and this concept, right? And I say, no, the rest of the world thinks this way. We think only about arts and culture being done by NGOs and always requiring deep subsidy. So that's the ignorance in the United States. So when I'm with all of you and you get it and we're having these robust conversations, it's very stimulating and exciting. I'm excited when I get invitations to talk about impact investing at arts conferences, which happens once in a while. I'm doing one with a group of museum directors at the end of the month. I'm excited when I have the opportunity to talk about creativity and culture in conversations with social entrepreneurs, and they realize that it's not just health and education and environment, but the creative sector is also part of where social entrepreneurship can flourish. But then I get a little disappointed, as John knows, when we try to have conversations with our impact investor friends who want to include arts as the entertainment on the sidelines of the impact investing conference, even when they're doing it in a place like Malaga and they're talking about the Picasso anniversary this year. So there's still some work to do, and what we need to do, I think, to close that gap is to invite investors to the next meeting like this that we all are developing and hosting, so that they begin to see what we see in terms of the potential of the creative sector for investment. In terms of something that I'm happy and optimistic about, I am increasingly, and this is really just in the last 2 or 3 years, I am increasingly getting inbound queries from graduate students, including many who are in business school. They're getting their MBA, and they write to me and say, I am writing my thesis, or I am starting my MBA program, and I want my focus to be impact investing in the creative economy. Can I talk to you, and can I learn about what you're doing at Upstart? And these are students who are at the best American universities: Yale, Stanford, Columbia, Wharton, UPenn. So some of them have been leaving curatorial roles at museums, and now they're going to business school. They want to bring these 2 sides of their experience together. I have sometimes queries from folks: Spain, the UK, I'm in business school, I want to focus on the creative economy, how can I do that? So I get very excited at the prospect of this next generation who already understand how these 2 concepts can live together, and they're learning and preparing themselves, coming from the creative sector, going to business school to get those hard financial skills. And then I get a little bit sad because I have to tell them that today there are no job opportunities that I can recommend to them that allow them to take impact investing and the creative economy and act on those 2 important things together. So what can we do in the meantime, until this nascent space is more developed, is to invite the next generation of leaders to conversations like this one, or to bring them into roles as associate members of our organizations or research assistants on our papers, so that they begin to build community with us, build community amongst themselves with their own peers and their own generation, and continue to stay excited about the potential of the creative economy, and not just go to business school with that as their impetus, but come out of business school and then leave the arts behind. I think that would be a real missed opportunity. The third thing that makes me happy, and this is the last thing that I'll share, is increasingly, again in the last, I would say, 12 or 18 months, I've been receiving inbound queries from regions folks who want to start regional creative economy impact investing funds. So I've gotten a query from the Netherlands, I've gotten a query from the state of Hawaii in the United States, and I've gotten a query from the city of Brooklyn, New York, And in each of these levels, there are folks who want to start specifically an impact investing fund focused on the creative economy in this country, state, or city. That's really exciting to me. What makes me a little bit sad is that we do not have an impact investing fund for the creative economy in the United States today. As you could tell from the video, this is what I've been working on. This is what I am trying to launch, to make happen. I am envious, appreciative, admiring of my colleagues in the UK, in Europe, in Africa, and in Latin America who already have examples of these impact investing funds that are fully focused across multiple creative industries, where there's a deep understanding of the role that the creative economy can play in sustainable development and inclusive economic development. We have already raised $14 million towards our new fund, but we have another $9 million to go. And this may be an expression that doesn't translate to a desert country, but it's tough sledding to get from where we are to what our goal is trying to be. And the creative economy does not yet have a global fund that is thinking about bringing impact capital to the creative industries across the whole world and seeing the power of connecting us from region to region. So I'll stop there, but thanks very much.